I thought I'd add a contribution to Pete's video that he put, an excellent video he put about why he's a racist. I question that. Racist or pragmatist? Um, I very strongly believe that there are an awful lot of people who run businesses who really don't think about what they've got to do before they go into it. They don't realise the hours that have to go into it. I watched a video of the first video for Swansea Market recently, and there are people there that start work at 4 o'clock in the morning and they're still going at 8 or 9 o'clock at night every day of the week. The only break they get is at the weekends or Sunday. They're open 6 days a week. So, it amazes me the number of people who have this fluffy view that you can go into business, open a shop, and everyone's going to come and buy stuff from you. In this day and age, you need to use many other different means of selling your wares, and the internet's a fantastic opportunity to add that on to your retail business. There's an example that my wife reminded me of in Whitstable. Every Saturday morning, there's a thing called a park run, which is a national event. There are about 160 park runs in the UK now, and one of those is in Whitstable. 9 o'clock every Saturday morning, we go for a run. It's not a race; it has to be called a run. Although there is a first place finisher, there's no winner. But every Saturday morning, between 100 and 180 people in Whitstable go for a 5k run. I run it regularly. I've run over 75 races or runs over the last 3 years, and at the finishing point there is a block that contains a cafe and public toilets. It's not a very big cafe, it's more of a kiosk than a cafe, and the guy that has it puts tables and chairs out, and the administrators for the event normally or were using that area just to put a table up and to record the finishers, and it's done electronically. It's extremely well organised, so you print off a barcode, and then when you finish your race you pick a place finishing tag up, you present it to the race recorder or the run recorder, and they would just scan your barcode and your place finishing, and that's the electronic record done. But this cafe owner, he complained to the organisers that we were causing him a problem by having 100 people finishing the race nearby, or the run nearby. I keep calling it a race because I'm a racer. I always would call it a race. But he complained to them that they were affecting his business. Now, when we start the run at 9 o'clock, he's just setting up. So he hasn't been there for very long. Bearing in mind, a lot of these people arrive from 8:30 onwards. So potentially he has in excess of 100 potential customers and their extended family, because an awful lot of the runners bring someone with them. So what does he do? He complains about it and ostracises everyone that's in that race. So we now have the registration across the road in a bus. It's not a bus shelter, it's like a bus shelter, but in a shelter over the other side of the road, to avoid upsetting him. What a missed opportunity for that person. All he needed to do was say, look, I'll put up a prize for the first place finisher, or the first man and the first woman, or invite the organisation in so that have reduced price drinks, or a tea urn or something like anything that really just raises his profile, because the message that everyone's saying now is that he's a miserable sod and he doesn't want us there. Now, there's an old saying that if you have a complaint, or if you complain, you will complain to 10 people. You won't compliment the same thing to 10 people. So for every person he's upset there, potentially there are 10 times that number. So 1,800 people potentially could be told, and I'm telling an awful lot more people than that by recording it on video, but potentially he could be telling people, I don't want that service, and so people aren't going to use that because they're going to go to the other opportunities that are fairly local. Now, as I say, I'm labouring the point, but all he needed to do was say, I'll have some gifts or an urn of tea or coffee or something like that. Give a drink to the first place finishers. Give a drink to the organisers. It would cost him nothing in comparison to the benefit that he would gain, because everyone would be saying, "Oh, he's a nice bloke. We'll use him." What do they do now? We use the shelter across the road, but just a few yards further on, there's a cafe, and everyone goes to the cafe to use that. They don't use his facility, so he's the loser. So, a bit passionate, but I wholeheartedly agree what Pete says, and I will be putting links to both of our videos on following this. I'll see you soon.